With every single TikTok, the clock time don't stop, but it only get intensified. With the vision around my mind's eyes, only visualize and get prepared for the strenuous time. Cause everybody wanna know when it's gonna pop. Cause the 2G flop, when it gonna drop. No, not either day at the time, but take a look at the sign, cause only seconds till the show stop.
Everybody looking at me through the microscope. Oh, I can't float in the rocket boat because all my people living comfortable. Don't mean everybody got a front to roll. See, ain't like Mo, the niggas and hoes, and how much dope, or what you roll, or what he roll to the Pick War show, or how much endo a nigga could float. See, vanity, you put a hole in your dome like a cavity. Now all y'all niggas looking mad at me, cause I'm fancy free, you living fancy free. See, y'all were concerned with the club at night, and which thug finna hug the mic, but never think about the fact that these motherfuckers drug despite all the water in the food supply. And airplanes fly high in the sky, spraying microscopic from the tropics. Man-made shit up in your optic notches. I'm a this toxic, but I'm finna switch topics. All about these fake ass cops. They love to drop all my niggas in the cell to rock. Put a shot in the bumper clock, about your boy blood clock. Cause it's all just an inch of the plot. Because they got the technology, probably that'll be all up in your brain. Lobotomy, sodomy of the mind, kinda like psychology. Better get apology, gotta be running through the blood genealogy. Open your eyes, focus your mind, cause the things that you can't see much realer than the things that you can't see. I'm spitting facts that react, but you really can't stand.
With every single TikTok, the clock time don't stop, but it only get intensified. With the vision around my mind's eyes, only visualize and get prepared for the strenuous time. Cause everybody wanna know when it's gonna pop. Cause the 2G flop, when it gonna drop. No, not every day at the time, but take a look at the sign, cause only seconds till the show.
Yo, pick up the pace. When I penetrate, meditate, you bitch niggas sit back and menstruate. Keep the words focused and fixate. The horns blowing, don't be letting get caught with a deadly onslaught. The fist, the gun, saints, gunshot, my gun cock, and through the wicked World War III prescription. To the Bible, I'm addicted, strive to be a brainiac, and you a nick with the unproof has already been sifted. Nigga, you better get with SOJ, get evicted. Watch me rip it. Similar to when heads roll, my rhymes cold like my lines are from the North Pole. 200 million angels to the toll, take off your blindfold. Remember being bought and sold, remember your claim, nigga. Take out the game, nigga. Black, Indian, Latin, it's all the same, nigga. We gotta pull it together like a gun trigger. Wait for Christ to deliver. 144 G's in the figure. Moves in the zone with vigor. Plus, I live the life of a villain. It's Mike who's not listening. I'm still dealing, still with a double and sword slicing demons and hordes. And yo, in the name of the Lord, who's ready to settle the score and kick down Esau's door. Got the word on lock like a figure four. My soldiers hit the floor on one accord. Before you get destroyed if you lack knowledge. You be SOJ, nigga, I doubt it. This is where the unlearned get confounded. In my zone, I try to stay well rounded. But you see me on the streets, you look astounded. I got the strap to Esau, and this is how it sounded.
Ain't gonna be another day walking in the way of the heathen. Comprehend niggas are scared to open their ears to the true teachings of the Almighty. Yahweh, his word is power devours non-believers and cowards. Decompose flesh to hours upon us. Upon us, be honest, opponents. Gonna split truth all the way to Daytona. You stress about tomorrow and what's coming for you. Don't think about your inner, even what you're doing. Cash flow, guns flow, how the fuck you screwing? What you doing? Who you choosing? Inspiration data, who's brewing? Inquire of the Lord, inquire of the Lord, as he hosts this full hunt. With every single TikTok, the clock time don't stop, but it only get intensified. With the vision around my mind's eyes, only visualize and get prepared for the strenuous time. Cause everybody wanna know when it's gonna pop. Cause the 2D flop, when it gonna drop. No, not either day at the time, but take a look at the sign, cause only seconds till the show stop. With every single TikTok, the clock time don't stop, but it only get intensified. With the vision around my mind's eyes, only visualize and get prepared for the strenuous time. Cause everybody wanna know when it's gonna pop. Cause the 2G flop, when it gonna drop. No, not either day at the time, but take a look at the sign, cause only seconds till the show stop. No, not either day at the time, but take a look at the sign, cause only seconds till the show stop.
Shabbat Shalom. Shalom, peace. Welcome to another episode, Don't Shoot the Messenger, DSTM, episode 222. 222. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, White Yahweh Shai. It's your brother Ahmath IQAhmath first name. IQ. It's all the same. How's my family doing? My fellow messengers, man, are y'all all right? Let me know. Let me know. Let me look in the chat. Let me see who's in the house. Let me see who's in the house. And if you're in the house, I'm assuming you wiped your feet. Look what my brother said. He said he got his feet wiped, napkin around the neck, fork in one hand, knife in the other, ready to feast. All praises, my brother Shaq, man. Hopefully you and the family as well, man. The House of Byron in the house. Welcome, family. Good to see y'all again. Shabbat Shalom to Namawa, Shalak, Kohath. Your guy in the house. Shalom to you, Ak. Shabbat Shalom in the Quab, the house in the Quab. Diz the Wiz, my sister. Shalom to you. The House of Bayan Shakal in the house. Shalom to you and the family. Rosemary in the house. My beloved sister out there in the UK. Shalom to you. Hopefully everybody's doing well on the Sabbath. And enduring all the way to the end. Brother Jackson in the house. Shalom to you. I'm glad to hear that you're well, man. Glad to hear that you're well. Y'all might need to rewind that song again. When you go back, replay this again. That song we did in 2000. That was a song called Intensified. And if you listen to it, the brothers were talking about chemtrails, poisoning the food and the water. This is 23 years ago. Now it's, I'm not going to say cliche, but the information is becoming more well known. But we were talking about it back then, and then in the hook it says because the 2G flop, when it's going to drop, no, not either day or the time, but take a look at the signs because only seconds to the show stop. That was kind of our answer to people that were, scrutinizing Israelites because of that 2000 prophecy. And we were acknowledging saying the scripture says that no man know the day or the time. So when we were sons of Jacob, we didn't buy into, the world's going to end in 2000. So we kind of did that as an answer to those that were scrutinizing or, that had lost faith. Because a lot of Israelites lost faith that after that 2000 prophecy that came out of One West, a lot of people, fell off. People returned to the church, went back in the world. There were splits within camps. There was a lot of things that went on back then. So, that was a time of, confusion and turmoil for some in Israel. And, we did that as a somewhat of an answer, but at the same time, to telling our people, man, nobody knows when the show's going to stop, but just take a look at the signs. And that's what we, pay attention to. All right. So, all praises to the Most High Yahweh Shai, man. Hopefully everybody is solid and you've wiped your feet. You've, paid attention to the rules of the house, man. I got them on the door. Y'all know what time it is. Brother Shar, man, what's good with you, Ak? Shalom. Good to see you in here. Let's get right to it. Let's get right to it. Okay. You can see in the headlines, man. Nato is getting desperate. Esau is now just the reason why I played that song is because one of the articles that I'm going to cover, and I've spoken on a number of different occasions, is regards to the chemicals and what they're calling quote unquote forever chemicals in the water supplies. And there's an article that came out through I believe I got through the Daily Mail, but I think it's been shared on different media outlets that pinpoint the different states that have been most affected by the poisoning of the water, which is cancer causing, death related. You understand what I'm saying? That's how bad it is. And our reparations finally here, among other stories. You know how I'm gonna do. We're gonna feast today, but reparations are getting handed out in Evansville, Illinois. Oh yeah, that Jake's over there getting money. But is it real? Is it real? Can brothers and sisters now start resting their hope in the so-called white man making amends and repenting for his evils, for all of the folly and all of the atrocities that he did to our people? Is he making good on it now? We're gonna look into that. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. All right. So let me share my screen. I wanna let's look at a few scriptures first. and then we'll get to the meat of the matter, as they say. All right. Um, I want to open up in Habakkuk. Let's go to Habakkuk chapter 2. Habakkuk 2. We're going to start at verse 1. And we'll read down to like verse 4. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I will answer when I'm reproved. So, I know Aladad is teaching our closing Sabbath class later on this evening, and part of his lesson is going to be in regards to, I'll be teaching with him. Being watchmen, paying attention to the signs, looking to see what the job of watchman is and how we're to go out and put forth information for our people to learn, understand, digest, and take appropriate actions in the spirit and the faith of Mashiach Yahushua. Okay. So Habakkuk said he's standing in his watch, being set upon a tower. He's going to watch to see what should be said to him. He's waiting for revelation. He's waiting for understanding to come from the Most High to tell him what should what should be told to the people. Verse 2, it says, And Yahweh answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables that he may run that readeth it. So he said, once the vision is seen, make it easy to be understood, so that once someone receives the information, when a person gets enlightened, awoken, they can go run and go tell the next. They can run and read it. They can start taking appropriate action. That's why the scriptures say, man, we got to be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves, as spoken of in James. This isn't an entertainment channel, entertainment show. I know Israel loves the tea, they love the gossip, they love the drama, they love to watch the street teaching videos and Edomites getting cut and hitting the dirt and kissing boots, and love to see the Christians running with their tails tucked. That's all fine and dandy. Those are things that just keep Israel engaged, keeping brothers' channels alive with views, and all of that is cool. But the end results are the sit down lessons, the information, the understanding that comes structurally to get brothers and sisters to move in a righteous manner. So doing the work on the streets, that's definitely part of the regimen that was prescribed by the scriptures. But it also says that we got to write things, Habakkuk was told, man, write the vision, make it plain upon tables so that he may run that readeth it. So we got to take part in both aspects of understanding and learning. The street warfare that goes on, the awakening of our people, through the evangelizing out on the streets. And at the same time, once they come in, the scriptures say that the synagogues was open and Israel was to come in every Sabbath. They come get the learning and the readings, right? So this is what Habakkuk was being understood that he needed to do. Verse 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. So he said that the vision is prophetic. Everything that we're receiving, that we're understanding, that we go into, especially with DSTM and everything, many things are either prophetic, revealing, dealing with current events and affairs, past, present, looking at what was considered conspiracies, things that are actually right, and exact. But here we are looking for things that the Most High said every vision, every understanding, every prophecy has its appointed time of when it's going to happen. We talked about everything moving according to the measurements. The Most High lays down specific measurements of time when he wants things to unfold, when things are going to come out and come to pass. So it's very hard and very difficult for anybody to be 100% on point with things that get put out. All praises for the things and the information and the revealings that the Most High has shown, that when, myself or other brothers within Israel are putting things out there, man, it comes to pass, or, the visions are understood, then people can understand and trust and know that these are righteous men that are being sent to you, that's being, showing this information to help our people wake up. So it says that the vision of Habakkuk God, he said it was going to be for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. So it says once it comes to fruition and in the end times, it's going to speak and it's not going to lie. So this is why we're seeing so many things of truth coming out right now. This is why that 5-letter word is so powerful now. And that's why we see the so-called white man trying to compromise it, trying to coerce. I mean, trying to come in and take advantage of a movement that was started by our people. When we're talking about civil rights and we're talking about um, intellectual rebellions, and that's what he came in and took it over, and now it's calling it woke. Well, we talk about, and the scriptures talk about us being awakened out of our sleep. And it's talking about the slumbering giant, the children of Israel, the 12 lost tribes scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and and indigenous tribes scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, the descendants of slaves and and the oppressed of the earth. The Lord said that that was our awakening. We're the ones who's supposed to be awoken. White man take it, and his little paid off nonprofit groups. Now it's being, hijacked by the alphabet folks. When the Lord said, no, no. When we see the truth, it said in the end it's going to start speaking. So this is why we start seeing all of the matters of truth, all of the prophecies, all of the things that we were reading before. When you're reading about a coming beast system that's going to take over the earth and showing signs and wonders through its technology and through a monetary system that's going to restrict people from buying and selling. And you're starting to see the great awakening of the children of Israel. You're starting to see the wicked, who truly is the wicked, and his revealing who the enemies of Israel are. Everything is becoming more plain, more open. He's not hiding it. No longer the son of perdition is being revealed. You see him with the school systems. He's allowing satanic influence to go everywhere from the educational system all the way up into the entertainment industry. Fully acknowledging, oh, the elites are meeting it over here. All the occult type illuministic one, they're meeting over here, having secret meetings and discussing the world's end, world population being destroyed. I mean, everything now is being spoken, and it ain't lying. That's why it's the truth. And I always said, and I need to put it on a shirt. Can I holler at me? I got another shirt for you. The truth hurts only if you're living a lie. And I remember the Most High brought that to me some years ago. And I used to use that as a signature, like on my email and stuff like that. But that's the only way that the truth can hurt. If you're living a lie, the truth is going to hurt you. This is why when we teach the truth and we go out there and start doing the revealings, and we see the GMO Jews get offended when we start calling them out on their lies. They, assemble all of their political resources, all of their monetary resources, lay down heavy campaigns against us to try to shut us up. This is why Google and all these other little search engines start changing up the algorithms, making it harder to find particular information, start giving you suggestive stuff to lead you on paths of disinformation. He's pulling out all the stops. Remember, the truth is here and it won't lie. Verse 3, continuing, it says, though it tarry, wait for it. So although it seems as though, this is happening, that's happening, when's it going to be then? When's it going to be? Moses said, just wait. Let things continue unfolding. And you're going to start seeing more and more things be more revealing to help us understand how closer we are to our salvation and how much, we need to continually draw closer to the Most High in the spirit of Hamashiach Yahushai and through our repentance, because we're going to need all the help we can get to survive this hell that's getting ready to come down on this earth. Continuing on, it says, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. So if we're going to live just, we're going to live in the spirit of truth. The Most High said the one thing that's going to hold us strong is our faith. There's a lot of folly that goes on within Israel, man. A lot of strife, a lot of debate, a lot of, stay focused. Stay focused. Because a lot of times, man, there's a lot of sometimes, man, brothers don't even know they're being used as tools of Satan, man, and thinking he's doing the right thing. But a lot of times, man, there'd be a lot of things that just causing more damage than good. and a lot of illusionary things that go on. And I mean, it's a whole lot of madness that happens within our people, let alone the world. This is why we have to constantly stay focused, stay diligent, examining ourselves, the whole nine. Because as the curtains continue to start closing, you close them curtains and you hear them rings on top of the pole, and you hear that. That's what's going on right now, and we got to listen, we got to pay attention, and we got to stay focused. Second Thessalonians 2. We're gonna read 1 down to 10. I'm gonna read straight through it for time's sake, because I don't want to keep breaking down every verse, because we got a lot to get to and not a lot of time. Second Thessalonians 2, verse 1. Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord and Mashiach Yahweh, by our gathering together unto him. We're to be gathered unto Yahweh Shai. We're not gathering unto messengers of the covenant or this congregation. The scriptures say not to draw disciples to yourself. Everything that we do is to help bring brothers and sisters closer to Yahweh Shai. That way we don't get self-exalted. That's why why there's no vanity involved and no pride, no ego, and if we keep everything in perspective, every camp, congregation, church, what have you, their objective should be, and for all intents and purposes, I will say, as a disclaimer, all of them. No, let me be clear. All of them should be gathering Israel to Christ, because it's through the faith of Mashiach Yahweh Shai and the keeping of the commandments that we're to receive our repentance and our redemption with the Most High. So we're gathering to Him. Verse 2. That ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that day of Mashiach is at hand. So stay focused. We're going to see a lot of hell and torment and things going on this earth, man. We may personally experience it, could be experiencing it personally right now or whatever. The Lord said, don't be shaken in mind, don't be troubled, man. Stay strong in the faith. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there be a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So the gates of deception, disinformation, lies, and hypocrisies, and the whole nine is going to be heavy moving forward. As it is, I mean, not even moving forward. It's been that way, but it's getting more heavier. That's why the first thing it said, don't be deceived. Even Yahweh Shah said, let no man deceive you. So that lets you know that the ways of truth are going to be overshadowed by a bombardment of lies and deception. There's going to be a lot of people, man, that get deceived by all manners of, technology, doctrine, information, misinformation, you name it. Right. So it said, let no man, for that day shall not come except there be a falling away first. The falling away was when the children of Israel transgressed against the law. The curses kicked in. We fell away from our first estate, which was to be the inheritors of the earth, the righteous rulers, the wise and the understanding people that were supposed to subdue the earth with the law, statutes, and commandments. We fell away from that. That happened. After that, it says the man of sin is going to be revealed, the son of perdition. That's talking about the so-called white man. He's the son of perdition. He's the man of sin. He's the one that, verse 4, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Well, who has put out all depictions, all movies, all, billboard articles and all? Who's showing himself that he's the Most High, let alone Christ? Who's the one exalting himself above everything that is the Most High? Who tries to make himself equal with the Most High? Well, Isaiah 14 tells us that he's going to try to ascend into the clouds. He's going to try to be, he wants to be like the Most High. We see him through his sciences and biologies and everything that he's doing with gender transformative surgeries, that he's a new creator. He's got test tube babies. I mean, he's out here making fake agriculture. I mean, he's doing it all, trying to depict himself as being a creator. He's the well of information and knowledge. If you need it and you got to come to him for it, he's in control of the earth, right? So he's been revealed. And to let you know that the revealing means that he's been hiding. He's got to be, this skirt got to get lifted up. So he's used all manners of deception to hide himself and his identity and who he is and what role he plays on the earth. And he's done a damn good job of it because he even got our people, man, running to his aid, constantly defending him, Stockholm syndrome to the death, and will defend him before they'll defend their own people. He's done a great revealing. Continuing on. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. And now ye know what beholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. So it said the mystery of iniquity is already at work. Where and why evil happens in the earth, who's behind it, who is the beast that Satan that the dragon gave us power unto in Revelation 13. And the mystery of iniquity is already at work. We see it all around us, we see it all in the earth constantly, man. If you're in the spirit and you keeping these laws, you'll constantly be vexed at everything that you see that goes on. Everything I pull out on DSTM should be vexing you. Everything that we see in your daily lives that you witness on your own, you should be like, what the man, this place is wicked because it's already at work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out the way. So the ones who are complicit, the ones who are selling, hey, let it be what it be. I don't have no problem with that community. They can do what they want to do. I'm a libertarian, and you do whatever you want. Just don't bother me. Those one only he who now letteth will let. Oh, let it go. I don't care. That's not my business. I'm not. No such and until he's taken out the way. Well, how's he gonna be taken out the way? He gotta get put to death. That's why the scriptures say, though hand join in hand, the wicked will not go unpunished. You can hold hands with your enemy all you want to, but the Lord said, remember when he gets judged and he gets put to death, you're joined to him. So you're part of his flesh. Remember even with married, man and woman, when they come together, they become one flesh. They leave our father, mother. You hold on to that, man. You one flesh with that damn beast. You're gonna get put to death right along with him and be taken out the way. Verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So he's going to be destroyed with the spirit of his mouth. So how's that happen? Through the prophecies, understanding of prophecies, through the revealings that we see through the scriptures, man. Exposing comes through the spirit of the mouth, which is how all the information starts coming, the revelations being revealed, prophecies coming down. And it says, shall destroy thee with the brightness of his coming, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all powers of signs and lying wonders, deceitful wonders. You see it with the AI, the chat bot, what is it, chat cheap GPT and the voiceover AI technologies and the deep fakes. And it used to just be the what's the name of that art program that you can use? Photoshop. You should be able to just Photoshop, and then people start being able to see. Oh man, that's a fake picture, man. He put his head on top of. Now they're doing it through video. Say with all signs and lying wonders. So the signs, he's got geoengineering technology, weather weapons, and the whole nine. That he's running around. Oh, is it climate change or is it the Most High? Causing these type of confusions with the weather issues. We'll look at that later. Lying wonders, verse 10, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. Let me read that again. And with all deceivableness and unrighteousness in them that perish. So the 2/3 and everybody that is holding on to and fell in love with the lying wonders and the signs and the technologies and everything that the white man through the power of Satan has been given. You said they're going to perish because they receive not the love of the truth. Oh, you guys are in a cult. You guys are wicked. You guys keep talking about the law. Nobody can keep the law. Blah, 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 blah. Yet they don't want to hear the truth. They rather make excuses. They rather make up all kind of different lies. They want to, stay in their intoxicated slumbers because they don't love the truth. They receive not the love of the truth. Some people don't really love being in the truth. They do it because of obligation. Some brothers and sisters, man, you got sons and daughters, and you tell them, look, in my house, if we keeping these laws, da, 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 da. And they say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And as soon as I turn 18, I'm out of here and I'm turning up, I'm getting loose. Because they don't love the truth. They feel like They have to be convinced. They got to be understood. Like, hey, this is it. And when you, that's why the Most High said, man, raise a child in the way that he should go, and he won't depart from it. Because they're gonna see how much you love it. If you love it, they're gonna love it. There's a lot of Israelites, man. They run around just joining camps just because. They get enamored with the street teachings and what they see on TV. Man, them brothers are bold. Them brothers out there cutting everything, man. Them brothers entertaining. No, them brothers got knowledge. I'm going over there. Look how many of them there are. I'm going over there. You love what you see, but you don't love the truth. And so I said, the Lord said, receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. We gotta love the truth, man, before we, fall in love with our personality on the internet or whatever the case may be. Very, very important. Matthew 24 and 12, it says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So we're going to see even more acceptance of iniquity, more acceptance of wickedness, and the boldness that goes out there. It's going to abound more than truth, righteousness. This is why, us living in this law, living in this truth, get isolated and get looked at as crazy because everybody else around us is involved in all kind of folly and wickedness. And they're saying, what's wrong with you? Why are you not involved with this? Why are you acting weird? Oh, we're not. I don't want to do all of that stuff. Why are you making your life even harder? Nobody's listening to that. The man wrote that Bible. How old is that? How do we know they ain't been tampered with? We could be getting led astray. You getting led astray by the damn devil all damn day. What are you talking about? Following after all of these unrighteous ways, man. Following after unrighteous diet, moral and civilly living out there and abominable means. And you talking about worried about if somebody leading you astray because a man wrote the book? No, we just got to seeing what it meant for a man to write the book. The Most High told Habakkuk that the vision he receives, write it down and make it plain upon the tables. He didn't say, Habakkuk, whatever comes to your mind, man, make up some good stuff, man, so that people believe, man, and then run it by me. I'll let you know if it's okay. No, the scripture says that holy men spake as they were moved by the Holy Spirit, man. You got to be inspired. If anybody's been involved in, let's say, in music or TV or whatever, writing scripts and all that, these are all things that come from a particular inspiration. Like I explained earlier with that one song, we were inspired to do that song because the year 2000 had passed. Everything didn't, wasn't over with. There was a lot of confusion that was going on within Israel, and Jakes was falling off and all kind of madness. So that was a song that we said, well, that's inspiration. Let's write down what's happening at the times right now, and then remind Israel that nobody knows when the show's going to stop. No man knows a day at a time. So maybe you forgot them scriptures. Maybe you forgot about uh, the instructions that the Most High said. Cursed be the man that trusted him. Maybe you forgot about them things. But guess what? They still are poisoning the food and the water supply. They still are dropping chemicals out the sky. They still are, trying to surround us with all kind of bombardments of lies and foolishness. So that doesn't mean that we're not supposed to come together, Israel. Like I said in my verse, we got to pull it together like a gun trick. Wait for Christ to deliver. 144 G's is the figure. So that's what we were trying to do. That's what the Most High is making it be known, that write it down. Let everybody know. So now you see when somebody says, oh, the man wrote that. Well, take it in, read it, understand it. And if man wrote it, how's a man going to give all these particular prophecies? You'll see not people believe in Nostradamus and Mother Teresa, whoever else, saying that they got all these damn prophecies before they would actually read for themselves and then look and see if it's coming to pass. But iniquity is abounding, that's for sure. Wickedness, unrighteousness, all manners of falsehoods coming against the Most High, and the love of many is going to wax cold. So we're seeing, I believe they said this past, so far up to date this year, has been the highest number of mass shooting deaths, I think, on record. I don't want to be misquoted. I got the article. I didn't do it in this one. Maybe I'll bring it out in another one. But there's an article that explained about mass shootings that happened just these past couple months has been higher than it's ever been as they've been chronicling them. We're seeing, parents locking their kids in the cars, baking them, selling them into sex trafficking. I mean, we've been seeing with that movie that's out right now, The Sound of Freedom, that's dealing with a true story of sex trafficking going on. Media outlets are out there demonizing it because it beat Indiana Jones on the opening weekend, and they're talking about, oh, this is just a conspiracy theory movie. Don't entertain it. Blah blah blah. I mean, why would you not want to discuss a true story regarding a Edomite father who went on the hunt to try to find his daughter that got got kidnapped? I haven't seen the movie, but I've seen some of the previews and I watched a couple of interviews. But it was one of them things where the not to get off tangent, but just real quick, I don't know if y'all heard about the movie, haven't seen it yet, but there was we be in the malls and people walking up talking about, oh, your kid is so cute, they could be in commercials and modeling, blah 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 blah. Here's my card, I'm a photographer and a talent agent and da 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 da. So they did that to his daughter, and they called him, set up an appointment, brought his daughter over, and they said, okay, leave her here, come back at 7 o'clock, she'll be done. And they naively left, came back, nobody was there, including her daughter or his daughter. So they kidnapped his daughter, man, and open up the whole can of worms in regards to trafficking of sexual trafficking of minors. But the fact that we see that type of iniquity abounding, and then Esau's got his Mockingbird media out there talking about, that's a conspiracy. Don't pay attention to that. This shouldn't really be getting the publicity that it does. I mean, just because there's an ounce of truth, we know that there's a such thing as sex trafficking, but this is over the top. I mean, you can just look up how many damn hundreds of pedophile rings that's been caught up. Sting operations that go on. I mean, it's unbelievable. But then the media come out and say, "What's wrong with that?" It's unreal. Let's continue on. Second Peter 1. We're gonna read 1 down to 8. I'm just gonna read because I'm doing a whole lot of yapping. uh Verse 1, it says, but there were false prophets also among the people, even as there were shall be false teachers among you, who privately shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that bought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. So there's going to be an increase of false prophets that come up amongst us, false teachers, and they're going to privately bring in damnable heresies. They're going to, on the low, hey brother, check this out. This law really don't apply no more. Hey, you know what? We shouldn't be doing this no more. Oh, you know what? Christ really didn't exist. He was just a figment of our imagination. Oh, the New Testament ain't written. All that other stuff, man. The Lord said damnable heresies, man. Heresy is a unscriptural teaching in a particular script, a teaching that goes against sound doctrine of the scriptures. And it says these people are going to bring themselves swift destruction. Verse 2, and many shall follow their pernicious ways. That's why, Yahweh Shai said, wide is the gate that leadeth to destruction, narrow is the gate that leadeth unto life. There's a cliche that, Israel says a lot. I ain't gonna say Israel. There's, the idea of, because there's so many of us here, the Spirit of the Lord has to be with us. Look how many of us it is. The Most High is working with us. Is that true? Because the scriptures say many shall follow their pernicious way. Many people are going to be following false prophets and false teachers. Because you got 100 people, 200, 500, 5,000, that does not mean that the Most High is dealing with you. Because the Most High said many people are going to follow after pernicious ways, false teachers, false prophets, bringing upon themselves swift destruction. So where the crowd is isn't always the place to be. It could be, as a disclaimer, it very well could be. But that's where the era of the essence of circumspection has to be coming into play. You got to really like scrutinize and understand who you're listening to, how much you're understanding and digesting as truth, and going back, fact checking your own information. Because the most I said, man, it's very important because many are going to get brought to swift destruction because they thought following after what they perceived was the crowd could lead you to destruction. Verse 3. And through covetousness shall they with vain words make merchandise of you, whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not, and their damnation slumbereth not. For if the Most High spared not the angels that sinned, and the angels is us, that's not talking about the holy angels. That's a whole nother lesson. We can get into that another day. For the Most High spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell and delivered them into the chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment, and spared not the old world, but saved Noah, the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly. Verse 6, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemning them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that after should live ungodly. Verse 7, and delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked, for the righteous man dwelling among them, in seeing and hearing, vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. Did you hear that? All of us are here living in modern day Sodom with the spirit of Lot on us, because what it say? Not Job, Lot, Salakia, delivered Lot. So is there going to be a deliverance out of a place that's full of ungodly and unrighteousness? Because we're dwell amongst these type of folks with the filthy conversation. It says the righteous man dwelling among them. So even though we're caught in the mix and in the midst of, in seeing and hearing, vex his righteous soul from day to day. So I'm sure plenty of us constantly seeing stuff. We get vexed every day with the unlawful deeds that goes on and seeing our people sucked into it. But Lot was delivered. Verse 9, the Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished. But chiefly them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness and despise government. Presumptuous are they, self-willed, and they are not afraid to speak evil of dignities. So, you're going to see those that come against those that's trying to do right. They don't want to fall in line and don't want to follow after structure and order and things of that nature. The Lord said, that's okay. This is how it goes down. 2 Timothy 4. Let's read this. I charge thee therefore before the Most High and Hamashiach Yahushua, who shall judge the quick and the dead at his appearing in his kingdom. Preach the word, be instant in season and out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. So as all these things are going down, what's our duty as men? Continually preach the word, be instant in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. It's a constant job. The work continues. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. So there's going to be a time when sound doctrine is not what's popular anymore. People want to go after their own lust. Oh, I always say, there's a congregation for you, whatever you want. There's brothers and sisters out there, they smoking weed, they getting high, and they saying that they Israel. You can go with them. They'll readily accept you in. You don't want to abide by a righteous order of marriage, man. There's brothers out there, man, that say, man, hey, go get your prostitute, man. It's all good. We don't care over here. We're Israel. You're a brother. Get out there and teach. You can go do that. You can some say, man, I don't want to keep these feast days. There's a congregation say we can't keep the feast days in captivity, but you can come on over here with us. No problem. You got a soft spot for the heathen. I don't like that. The white man's the devil and all the other stuff. I mean, I believe with the people, man. I believe all of that, man. But I don't like the way that they just go after all the nations, man. There's a congregation that will accept you and say, hey, brother, we don't teach like that. Matter of fact, hey, let me introduce you to my buddy Bob. Yeah, he's in the truth. We changed his name to Barack. Yeah, he's the blessed. Come on over and meet him. They're there. Whatever you want is within this nation right now. And people are going to cleave onto those and heap to themselves because it's their own lust that's going to desire. I'm more comfortable over here because this is how I feel. This is how I want. This is what I desire. You know, brother needs. Hey, I need structure. I need order. I need discipline. I need to be, corrected and told. There's a congregation that stands on business and does just that and keeps things right. I just want to go out and teach it. The brothers don't come together. All they do is go out and teach out on the streets all day. There's a congregation for that. And plenty of options. But we got to be careful. Got to be careful because if it's not involving sound doctrine, if you start noticing that there's a lot of folly going on and people teaching after their own meaning, the Lord said, "Hey, get up out of there. Get up out of there." Continuing verse 4, it says, "And they shall turn away their ears from the truth and shall be turned unto fable." So people are going to fall away from the truth. And they're going to be start believing lies, fables, you know, storylines and sipping the tea, rumors and everything. I mean, it's all going to go down. So let's get to we get a couple more precepts out of here. Second Ezra 16, and then we'll get to these current events. I promise. Second Ezra 16, let's read 14 because this is all indicative of what I'm going to cover in this PowerPoint with the current events. Verse 14, "Behold, the plagues of sin shall not return again until they come upon the earth." So the Most High let the plagues out. There's no turning back. There's no correction. There's no voting. There's no amendments that can be made. There's no cures. There's no vaccines. There's going to be. The Lord said, "Hey, these plagues are sent out, and they ain't coming back." Verse 15, "The fire is kindled, it shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer, returneth not backwards. Even so, the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Woe is me, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days?" You see, Ezra was like, man, everything that he was receiving and getting understanding of, he said, man, who's going to deliver me in those days? And that's a cold part because what do we see here? These are all things that's going to be happening in the future, right? So if Ezra's saying, who's going to deliver me in those days, that's a scripture that helps validate um, the understanding of um, regeneration. Ezra knew he was like, I'm gonna be back there. I'm gonna be back during that time. Who's gonna deliver me then? That's another topic. But we see his statement is, "Whoa, woe is me, woe is me. Who's gonna deliver me in those days?" Verse 18: "The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars and of powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come?" Verse 19, "Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as the scourges for amendment." See, these are all things that the Most High said is been sent out, and they're not coming back. You can't return them. You can't, say, how can I take this back? Okay, I'm through. I don't want to deal with it. No, it's already been sent out. It's just a matter of time when they come to pass. That's why we read earlier in Habakkuk. It said that they were going to come at their appointed time, right? So let's drop down. Let's read 21. "Behold, victuals shall be so cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion." So it said victuals, being able to get buying and getting goods and services and all that. They still got, even though things ain't 99 cents no more, or the Dollar Tree or Dollar General or whatever your local discount store is. You can still go buy some things that's cheap upon earth, and seems like everything's still in good case. And people are still going out to eat and dinner and all that other stuff. They still going and buying their two for whatever burgers at Burger King, and McDonald's has got set. You see, all that seems to be good. People acting like everything's just fine. But that ain't the reality. We're in an age and time where people are faking it till they make it, man. The age of the internet will allow people to be out there and acting as if things is all good when it really isn't. But they won't let you know they struggling. You know, you see a sister on what I've seen brothers posing, taking pictures on Instagram with fake cars that ain't theirs, asking the dude, "Can I buy?" And I'm just seeing the videos. I don't be on Instagram like that, but I've seen videos of people like exposing the brother, asking the brother, could he take a picture by his car, and then jumping right to the damn Instagram, acting like that's his car. As he goes and goes sits in the passenger side of his buddy's car. You know, sisters fake posing, filters galore on they Instagram pictures and modeling pictures and all this other stuff, and you know they don't look like that. I mean, it's all kind of foolishness going on. But everything seems to be in good case. It said, but even still, evil's going to grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. So we see a lot of confusion going on in the earth, famine, death, sword, right? So that doesn't mean everything still isn't going down. Uh, let's read 38. It says, and when a woman with child, as when a woman with child in the ninth month bringeth forth her son with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when a child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. So we're seeing a building up of the contractions. We're seeing a building up of the time for the deliverance of the children of Israel. The birth pains is here. We're seeing it. We're understanding it. But it said it's like in the ninth month. So we ain't talking about the seventh month, eighth month, ninth month, final stretch. That 40, well, how many sisters y'all know? How many weeks? 42 weeks? Or 40 weeks you're pregnant? Put it in the chat if you know. Y'all know. I don't want to misrepresent y'all pain. You know what I'm saying? But that's the time that we in. It said it's already there. Right? Verse 39. It says, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn. The world is going to mourn. And sorrow shall come upon it every day. How's the world going to mourn? Because the world is going to start witnessing what? World War III. They're going to start seeing all the things that's been prophesied and talked about. You understand? That's all the things that's going to be happening on there. The world is going to start mourning because famine, plague, death, all those things are going to be hitting the earth heavy. And now the world is going to be involved. The world's going to be involved. Is Jay August back? Jay August is back, huh? I'm gonna put you on timeout, bro, because you're always coming over here thinking this is the place where you can teach, man. I'm about to go look at Jay August's page. Let me see what he teaches. I'm about to jump on his or invite Jay August to see what he wants to talk about, because he's always jumping on here, got something to say. But I had to put him on timeout because he's always causing a distraction. Uh, Matter of fact, I'm gonna contact a couple of you brothers, man, to be moderators on here. Um, to be moderators for me, because I don't see it all the time. I'm trying to lock in on this information, so I don't be monitoring the chat like that. But it's all good. But I had to go sit him down for a minute. Let's get back, because here we are talking about this particular scripture. 38 and 39. Great pains, birth pains coming in. Plagues is going to be sent on the earth. They ain't coming back. But Jay August wants to talk about there's neither Jew nor Greek. He still wants to save his damn oppressor. And he might be a damn heathen. I don't know. But in his mind, what's more important is we can't teach separation, guys. He don't even understand what the hell that scripture's talking about. Besides what his Christian pastor done told him. But it's okay. It's all right. No time for the folly. Verse 39 again. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. On every side. That's what we're getting ready to be bombarded with. Let's drop down. And get a couple more out this. If y'all didn't read 2nd Ezra chapter 16 in a while, do yourself a favor and sober up and read this. Verse 67. Behold. Now, see, this is one thing I want to point out too. This is a precept as we read earlier in 2nd Peter. when it said the Most High didn't spare the angels that sinned. Here's a precept to help you understand why I said it. Israel is the angels that it was talking about, not the holy angels. Verse 66, it says, "What will ye do, or how will ye hide your sins before the Most High and his angels?" Now, if he just got through saying that the angels were worthy of committing sin, how could they be standing there in judgment watching for sin with the Most High? Because this is the heavenly host of angels that the Most High is talking about, the ones who keep the commandments of the Most High without flaw, the powers of the earth, which is what an angel is. An angel is a teacher. I mean, it's a power, a magistrate, a leader. The Elohim or the Elohim, just like when we read in Psalms 82 and 5, it says, "Ye have I not said ye are gods?" So y'all can kind of get the understanding as we continue on. But that's what that was talking about. Because here the Most High said, you can't hide your sins before the Most High and his angels. The angels are the ones out here documenting and watching those who sin and reporting back to the Most High. So verse 67, "Behold, the Most High himself is the judge. Fear him, leave off from your sins and forget your iniquities, to meddle no more with them forever. So shall the Most High lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble." So what should we be doing? What's our focus? What should we be keying in on? Worrying about the Jew or the Gentile? Or should we be talking about leaving off from sins and forgetting your iniquities? To meddle no more with them forever. So shall the Most High lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble. This is how we're going to be saved. This is how our lifeline is to be supplied by the Most High. He said it comes with repentance. Hey, but the church is saying you ain't got to worry about that. How can we disannul following after the laws and the commandments of the Most High? That is the instruction manual of how we are to leave off from our sins. We got to go back and look at the law. How do we identify iniquity if we don't go back to the holy law of the Most High that tells us what right from wrong? Most High said, and don't meddle with them forever. So we got work to do. Dropping down 75 to 77. It says, "Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your guide." So as we move into these realms of uh, further end time prophecy, judgment, plague, famine, death. I mean, the scripture said, man, it's going to be early in this chapter, said dead bodies are going to be like dung. I mean, if you ever gone to a farm, any of y'all been on a farm or been in the country where, you've got livestock around? We was at one of the brothers' house in Texas, man. He got some cows. Dung all over the place. All over the place. And us with the city mentality, we like, damn, it's all over the place. He's like, man, that's money. That's fertilizer. We're gonna scoop all that up, take it to the, the local processor so he can, get his fertilizer, together and make that manure. And for that, I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. I understand. So you let it get out there to collect up. You should maximize maximize your money's worth. You understand? And that's what it was. But the Lord said, man, that's how the bodies is gonna be in the streets, man. Crucial. So it says, "Woe be unto them that are bound in their sins and covered with their iniquities, as like a field is covered with bushes, and the path thereof covered with thorns, that no man may travel through." So, there's gonna be some of us, man. Prayerfully, nobody that's watching this DSTN, and the family of the messengers here. Hey, the Lord said there's gonna be people that's gonna be so bound. I mean, locked into, constrained and restricted by their sins. They're not gonna want to repent. They're not gonna want. They're covered with iniquity. It said like a bush is covered with fields. I mean, you ain't got no machete. You ain't got nothing that thick that they can't. And it's covered with thorns. Nobody's gonna touch you. You. I mean, just imagine. Those people are gonna be destroyed. It says it is left undressed and is cast into the fire to be consumed therewith. That's the fiery judgment of the Most High. That's the only thing that's going to actually purge and burn is through the fiery flames of the Most High's destruction and death. Destruction and death. All right. Before I forget, look. Now let's look at this. Let's get right to the business at hand. Uh, I wanted to share this with y'all, and this is interesting. And this is just a lesson to learn. Watch this.
Look at that gator. That's huge. We were literally just swimming here earlier. That's crazy. Whoa, whoa.
I'm gonna play that one more time.
Look at that gator. That's huge. We were literally just swimming here earlier. That's crazy. Whoa, whoa.
Now, you see the evil of Esau, right? When I first seen this, I said, "Damn, that's an evil ass seed, man." But be careful. Be careful. This is why we can't believe everything we see. Uh, remote control alligator heads. See, this is what I'm saying, man. The lying wonders of the damn white man. That was a remote control head in there. Nah, brother Jackson, that was fake, man. But this is the era where everybody's looking for a little clout. Everybody's looking for, see this? Everybody's looking to go viral. It was a remote control alligator head. But when I first seen it, I thought it was real. I was like, damn, the wicked ass heathen. But the lesson to be learning is not only just be circumspect, make sure you double check and see what information you're, going out there promoting, because now we're in the age of cloud. Everybody wants to go viral. Everybody looking for their little moment. The thing is the mentality of how the so-called white man and his wicked seed wants to go viral. You would post a picture up of yourself, the kids out here, about to throw the damn push the kid into the water with alligator, man. That's his way of going viral, killing his brother. Well, where'd that spirit come from? Cain. This is why the Most High said, man, you got to look at this. 1 Samuel 15, 1 down to 3. Samuel also said unto Saul, the Most High Yahweh sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people, over Israel. Now, therefore, hearken thou unto the voice of the words of Yahweh. Thus saith the power of hosts. I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way when he came up from Egypt. Now go and smite Amalek and utterly destroy all they that have, and spared them not, but slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass. This is why the Most High said, man, when Saul was to go out there and slay all the Amalekites, it sounds crucial. Man and woman, infant and suckling. He said, man, woman, take them all out. Why? Because you're going to have, his seed is going to grow up to have the spirit and the propensity to do something like this. You can't let that back in.
We were literally just swimming here earlier. That's crazy. Whoa, whoa.
You can't allow that spirit to even come back in. That's why the Most High said that Esau would be utterly wasted. Because his spirit and his mind is to do something like that. Most High said, there's no place for that in my kingdom. There's no place for them for that type of activity. They got to go. So I just wanted to share that with y'all real quick, man. Make sure that you guys are, cognizant of information, stuff that gets put out there, because it's so crazy and deceptive out there. And we see the spirit of the so-called white man. So although that was fake, the thought pattern that he lives by is not. That's a joke to him. Oh, let's play a joke. I'm gonna kill my brother. Throw him in the water with the alligators. And it wasn't joking when they had having our babies use as alligator bait. So we know that spirit is real. We know that he actually would do that. That's why the Most High said, man, kill all of them, man. Get rid of them. Isaiah 14 was a 21. He said, man, you got to dash the little ones against the into pieces. I think in Psalms 137 it said, happy is he that does that. So I mean, take that for what it's worth, man. Let's get to it. We're gonna breeze through some of these and get some understanding, right? So Russia says the F-16s jets in the Ukraine will be seen as a nuclear threat. So here we see that the nuclear threat that's being put out there, the F-16s already got the A-OK from slow Biden. The rest of a few of the other NATO nations said we're sending the jets over there. Why is it so important? Because these F-16 jets are capable of carrying nuclear bombs. So that's why Russia's saying, well, hold on. You keep upping the ante on the weapons and the technologies that you keep giving Ukraine, and you're going closer and closer towards nuclear war, from the cluster bombs to the depleted uranium ammunitions. Now you're giving them F-16 jets that can carry nuclear bombs and missiles. Like, what are you doing? So now Russia is again going out saying, look, NATO is the one keep putting out all these nuclear threats. So when we do it, when we use them, don't say we was out of line. Don't say that we pushed the issue, that we did something crazy. The Netherlands and Denmark are leading a plan to train Ukrainian pilots on using a U.S. made aircraft as part of an 11 nation coalition. Russia will regard Western F 16 fighter jets sent to Ukraine as a quote nuclear threat because of their capacity to carry atomic weapons, Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said on Thursday. So, the Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov saying this is a nuclear threat. So, we're only ticking closer to seeing whether or not somebody's actually going to use these things. They keep trying to simmer it down every time, the West and NATO keep pushing the issue. Russia keeps trying to expose them, saying that they're the ones pushing this, not us. We haven't even went there, and they're doing it. You understand? So there we go. Outliers: Turkey, Hungary threaten NATO unity in a standoff with Russia. So there's been some a fracturing within NATO. They've been having some disagreements in regards to. Um, I think it was. I think it was Sweden that they were at odds with, and then Turkey just bowed down and said, "Okay, let them over." Yeah, here it goes. When the leaders of NATO nations gather in Lithuania this week, President Biden and his closest allies will endeavor to send Russia a forceful message that the West is united against Russian President Vladimir Putin's war in Ukraine. So they just had a meeting, all the NATO heads last week, and slow Biden addressed everybody. They went to address their schisms that they had, in the body, and uh, what's the guy's name from Ukraine? Zelensky. He was over there whining and complaining at first, talking about, man, this ain't fair. Y'all should have had us in the NATO. You guys keep pushing us to the side, lying, and slow Biden told them, man, you better be grateful. We're gonna keep sending you weapons, but you can't. We're not fast tracking you in. We're not fast tracking you in because as soon as we do, that means NATO's involved in the war and it's World War III, and we ain't ready to do that yet. But they did allow Sweden in. So it says, but jeopardizing their show of cohesion will be some of the same leaders joining Biden for the Vilnius, which is an interesting name, Vilnius, but we're going to say it's villainous. A meeting of the villains for the Vilnius summit, whose refusal to admit Sweden as the 31 nation bloc's newest member underscores the divisions that could erode NATO's deterrent power amid a dangerous standoff with Moscow. So they mended that up. They didn't want to look fractured to the public. I'm sure slow Biden and his cohorts, man, shook down Turkey, and Turkey bowed down and said, "All right, we'll let Sweden in," because Turkey was holding them up because they had their own little personal issues with Sweden, but they let them in. Ukraine's allies can't get arms fast enough as stockpiles shrink. So slow Biden came out and said that Putin's already lost the war when he was over there. But meanwhile, why are they running out of ammo? Why are they running out of stockpiles and their supplies are shrinking? Why is Zelensky running around begging for more help if they're winning? Listen to your boy. Here you go.
Meanwhile, President Biden says the U.S. is running out of weapons it can give to Ukraine, let alone what kind. News Nation's Kelly Meyer joins me now, live from Washington, D.C. Kelly, a lot to break down here.
Now you see why the headline is NATO's getting desperate. They're running out of ammunitions. That's why they're stepping up and they're using more lethal, more environmentally unfriendly weapons such as these depleted uranium ammunitions. Eventually, because the traditional stuff they running out.
Yeah, Brooke, and he's talking about these 155 millimeter rounds that have been in high demand since the war in Ukraine began. The Biden administration has said that the Ukrainians are running out of ammunition as they continue with their counteroffensive against Russia. And in a recent network interview, President Biden seemed to reveal the U.S. is also running low. Take a listen.
We're running out of that ammunition, and we're low on it. And so what I finally did, took the recommendation of the Defense Department to not permanently, but to allow for in this transition period where we get more 155 weapons, these shells for the Ukrainians, to provide them with something that has a very low dud rate, and it's not used in civilian areas.
See how they
trying
just
to get through
edited
those
that out?
trenches and stop those tanks from rolling. And so.
You see how they edited that out? It said it has a low dose. And I don't know if he said radiation or something, but they edited that out. Hold on. See if y'all caught that.
Those trenches and then stop those tanks from rolling. And so, but it was not an easy decision. They're trying to get through those trenches and these shells for the Ukrainians to provide them with something that has a very low dud rate. And it's not used in civilian areas.
A low dud, and then they edited it and then came back and gave. See, that's how you got CNN, the cool nigga news, Clinton news, national news, whatever they call it, CNN now. But they they edited that up to help him because he probably said something he wasn't supposed to say.
They're trying to get through those trenches and then stop those tanks from rolling. And so, but it was not an easy decision.
So
not an easy decision. Why? Because those ammunitions are dangerous. Those ammunitions are dangerous, man. But that's slow Biden for you. And his his cast of characters that's protecting his slow self. Let me just be nice. But this is the state of affairs where the war is at right now. All right. Now look, let's continue on here. What's going on Russia's side? Russian mercenary leader Prozin commanders met Putin after a short-lived mutiny and pledged their loyalty. So remember the whole little mutiny that went on. The Wagner group, his leader, they shut that down within 24 hours, and now they all doubled back and made sure that they pledged their loyalties to Putin. So things look different for Russia right now, as opposed to what's going on with Ukraine. Why is this important? Because the more desperate and the more losses that they take, the more NATO. That's why they just pledged in and gave Sweden the pat. They're adding on to their 32 country, arsenal and adding on to their form of the beast system because they're trying to, posse up because Putin is actually winning and taking over. So it's only going to make them get more desperate. They're going to have to do something to really spark this thing and, get this World War III thing really cracking. Because they're not going to take this loss. They ain't going to be like, hey, man, we tried. We gave everything. We ran out of ammo. And hey, Putin is stronger than us. It is what it is. They're not going to do that. North Korea warns it may shoot down U.S. spy planes violating its airspace. So there, U.S. is spying, China spying, Korea spying, Russia spying, everybody spying on each other. North Korea is saying that they're going to shoot down the planes if they keep violating the airspace, spying on them. Whether or not they do it, we'll see. North Korea has accused the United States on Monday of violating its airspace by conducting surveillance flights and warned that while Pyongyang was exercising restraint, such flights may be shot down. So if they shoot down these planes, that's an act of war. The U.S. is gonna have to get engaged with North Korea. So let's see if they do it, or are they just provoking, or are they just bluffing. Either way, these are the type of things that's been sent forth, and there's no turning back. The spirit of war, rumors of wars, that's out there. If things falter with this Ukraine and Russia situation, which Lord willing it doesn't, because it's leading up to more prophecies being unfolded and Israel being closer to our deliverance, there's still other things on the table with North Korea, with China and Taiwan, with Japan. There's still plenty of things on the table. Pentagon may activate up to 3,000 reservists for Russia deterrence. So now Slow Biden got desperate and says, well, let's mobilize. We ain't got the weapons, so we got to send some troops over there. 3,000 reservists now are being sent to Europe as backup to head to the borders in preparation of what they are considering further onslaughts coming from Russia. I mean, if they're winning this war, what are you sending more troops for? President Biden on Thursday authorized the Pentagon to mobilize up to 3,000 military reservists for duty in Europe, signaling the toll that ongoing efforts to deter Russia and reassure NATO allies is taking on a force deployed across the continent since the war erupted in Ukraine early last year. It was not immediately clear when the Defense Department will send additional reservists to Europe under the new authority, which Biden announced Thursday in a statement. Pentagon officials said the move would not increase the overall level of U.S. troops in Europe, which now stands at about 80,000, but would potentially alter its makeup by allowing commanders to deploy additional reservists. So they're adding on to the defense that they need over there in Europe. Clearly fearful that things could go hot outside of Ukraine. Zelensky slams NATO over no clear path to membership despite Biden's unity pitch. So this is where Zelensky was upset that they didn't, fast track Ukraine in, and Slow Biden was talking about, man, we're all unified, we're all here, and he was like, well, let me in, let us get membership, and he was like, sit down, little man, no, you can't come in. Just be happy that we're over there giving you money, over 100 billion by now, giving you money, giving you weapons, giving you a clear pathway to all kind of media outlets, and we done made you a celebrity now. Sit down and shut up. And when you clean up your act over there, maybe we'll talk about it. NATO agrees to pull Ukraine closer, but offers no membership timeline. So they've been stringing them along. They've been asking to get into NATO since, I think, 2016. So Zelensky just kind of, mad because they keep stringing them along. But remember, Ukraine is has been labeled, if not the most corrupt country in the world. We covered that article before. And it clearly shows you NATO and America have no problem supporting corruption, involving themselves in, we know their background, dealing with the NAZIs. NAZIs, you know what I'm talking about. You seen how they treated the Nigerian students and that was over there, man, how they treat black folks over there. So, take it for what it's worth. I didn't say they was Israel. I just said black folks. So I know Jake, Nigerians is black folks. Yeah, they black, but does that mean they Israel? That's something different. I'm not saying there isn't. There is definitely Israelites that are in Nigeria, no question. I'm saying the ones that we seen on the videos, I don't know. All we know is there was some black folks over there, man, trying to get up out of there. And Poland and Ukraine was giving them hell. But Zelensky's saying, "Hey, we love everybody. Come on over and give us entryway into NATO, so that we can have the full backing of the 32 countries, man, and we can really get World War III cracking." So they're saying we're open to the idea, man, but we're not going to give you a timeline when. And he's upset about that. World powers are in a rush to get killer robots on the battlefield in AI arms race. As concerns grow, they can turn on humans. This is an interesting article too, because Was it last week? No, 2 weeks ago. Brother Aladai did the class regarding AI, and if anybody's seen or watched or chronicled the Terminator movies, this is really what they get the idea, the understanding of I guess you would consider it truth being stranger than fiction, because the Terminator series is all set up because Jake made AI, and the understanding was AI was going to control the nuclear weapons and all of that to make sure that humans didn't get a hold of it and they kill each other. And AI through Skynet said, "Hey, you know what? All the humans is wicked. We might as well launch these things and blow all of them up so that AI can control everything." So basically, AI turned on its master, nuke the country. That the plan was to nuke the country and all that other stuff. Uh, Now we're seeing this. This is a New York Post article. This isn't the Inquirer or some crazy tabloid. World powers are in a rush to get killer robots on the battlefield in the AI arms race. So they constantly are downplaying the use of robot dogs and uh, the AI technologies to look, see, spy on everything. They know what they're utilizing it for. All of these technologies have backdoors. Just like we, covered the article last week when France, kind of exposed and said that they were going to use the police to spy on everybody's phones. How would they have that access to technology if it wasn't already understood and known that all of these apps and everything that we got on our phones all got backdoors to it, from Siri to Alexa to I showed you the article with the Apple iPhone taking pictures of you when you ain't utilizing it. Phones turning back on, you turn them off, the mics coming up. All of this stuff is because they know what they created, man. And they create the environment to where the dependency and the addiction of utilizing this tech, man, becomes part of our lives. And Jake will double back to go get his phone before he goes back and get his Bible if he forgot one of the two. So which one do they value more? You understand? That's how crucial it's gotten. So robot dogs on the streets, the AI, the drones, and they know all of this stuff is all lined up. Case in point, when the health ambush went down, everybody got on their phones. The exposure notification installed on your phone out of nowhere. Hopefully y'all seen that. I covered that a while back. They might have banned. They might have struck that particular video back then. But if you look on your phones, you go. I think if you go to your setting, at least on Android, you go on your settings and you go to Google services, you're gonna see the the COVID exposure notifications, and you got to turn it off if you don't want to be notified, because it would notify you if you've been exposed or around somebody that had recently got hit with the thing. But this is how they know, man. Everything they give us, man, got back doors, man. So killer robots is on the table. They just trying to get all the nations is trying to get involved with it. This is Terminator, coming in real life, man. It ain't just some fictionalized story. That was written by a sister too. The first Matrix and the first Terminator was written by a sister. What's her name? Stewart. I know her last name is Stewart. I forgot her first name. But yeah. And it got stolen. Her scripts got stolen from. She ended up suing in the '90s for intellectual property. A new kind of Cold War is here. Military forces around the globe are in covert arms to develop terrifying new AI weaponry. A new documentary exploring the future of artificial intelligence. Sophia Stewart, I think that was her name. Hopefully that's correct. Just popped in my head. Exploring the future of artificial intelligence and battle reveals world leaders in Russia and China, people in the U.S. military have said whoever gets the advantage in AI is going to have an overwhelmingly technical advantage in the war. Jesse Sweet, director of Unknown Killer Robots, premiering Monday on Netflix, told the Post. The revolution is happening now, but I think our awareness is lagging behind. Sweet, an Emmy award-winning filmmaker and producer, warned, hopefully it doesn't think a mushroom cloud to make us realize, oh man, this is pretty potent. It's a pretty potent tool. So there's a Netflix documentary that's supposed to be coming out next week, I believe, called Unknown. So I'm gonna be checking that out and see what that's about. But nonetheless, it might be out already, but I haven't checked for it. Look at it. Gigantic swarm of grasshoppers are flying into Utah so large it is picked up by weather radar. So more plagues coming. May not be the locusts, frogs, or flies, but grasshoppers coming in. They said there was such a big swarm, it got picked up on radar. So when we see, you know, it said Utah getting hit, when the scriptures say that what's that, second Ezra 15, about Egypt getting hit with more plagues as before. Yeah. Verse 11, 2 Ezra 15:11 says, but I will bring them by a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before and will destroy all the land thereof. So we know, we see a mighty swarm of grasshoppers, man, sliding through into Utah where it's getting picked up by radar. You know that's pretty crucial. That's a cold plague. See that the plague-like surge moving into northwestern Utah late last month was picked up by radar from the National Weather Service. The insects were captured around 6 p.m. on June 21st, heading northwest towards the Great Salt Lake before hitting Tooele, Utah. Swarms of grasshoppers have been terrorizing the state for weeks. So America getting hit with plagues. Thus saith the Lord. Look at this. Peter sells a vegan-friendly AI Bible. Rewrite where Abraham skips sacrificing Isaac and befriends a lamb instead. See, this is the folly that's going on, man. This is what we talk about, great lying wonders coming from the man of sin, the man of perdition. So now Peter's using AI and Chat GPT to write a fake Bible, a fake interpretation of Genesis to be more animal friendly. And they're selling it. Look, for just $3.99, you can buy a vegan friendly version of the Word of God. Can you believe this foolishness? While that's not quite how it's advertised, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals is selling an AI crafted rewrite of the Bible that aligns the book of Genesis with the group's animal rights messaging. Produced as a digital download with a virtual vegan leather cover, the book, Peter's version of the creation story, is billed as a, quote, first of its kind AI generated vegan interpretation of the book of Genesis. According to Peter, the message in Genesis is that God created every sentient being. He saw that they were good and he gave them greens for sustenance. This is why we can't get involved with and do not get involved in these food labeling wars, because that's exactly what it becomes. You know, we've talked about this for years, and that's why we read it in I believe it's Romans 14 regarding one eat meat, one eateth greens. Which one's better? I think it's in Romans 14. I just want to make sure. If it ain't Romans, is it Romans 14? Hold on. Yeah. See, Romans 14 says, him that is weak is the faith, in the faith receive ye, but not to doubtful dispensations. For one believeth that he may eat all things, another who is weak eateth herbs. But saying all things, speak about all things that is lawful. Then you have some who were only eating herbs because they were being told to abstain from meats. They were basically saying, well, I'm not eating anything. I want to make sure that I'm right. You know, I'm just newly getting back into the fold of Israel and repenting, and I'm just eating herbs. I'm not eating no meats. I'm cool. And then that's okay. You know, The only meat that we're required to eat is the Passover lamb. Outside of that, if you wanted to be a vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, whatever, that's where all these damn labels come into play, and it becomes a doctrinal battle. Oh, I'm vegan. Well, what kind of vegan? Well, I'm a raw vegan. Oh, I'm better than you. Oh, I'm just, I abstain from this. I used to be a vegetarian until I came up into a higher level of consciousness of being a vegan now. So just being a vegetarian, that's not good enough. You got to get to the higher levels of, oh, vegan. Oh, yeah. Just like I said before, that there's a doctrine that went around. And I'm sure it's still prevalent within Israel. Some years ago, maybe about 5 years ago, it was being taught, oh, Israel, we need to be vegans. Get off of that meat. Meat is killing you. Da, 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 da. And a lot of Israel, man, got struck by it. But like I told y'all last week, we had experienced and seen that, especially in particular, our own congregation, when we were sons of Jacob. 20, it had to have been 2005, 6 or 7. Yeah, about 2006, 7, around that time. Brothers started talking about, hey man, I'm a vegan now. I'm a vegan. He was like, what? What's that about? And like the scriptures say, there's some bringing in damnable heresies privately. Next thing you know, you pulling up with brothers to go get something to eat, and brother said, "Yeah, now I'm not eating meat no more." You say, "What? What are you talking about?" Yeah, man, me and the brother was talking, and yeah, he told me, and it turns into a whole nother doctrine, right? And then that's where you get problems start coming into play. This is why you see them coming out with their own vegan AI Bible, because it's a doctrine motivated by Satan to try to come up with a different version of the word of the Most High to satisfy a particular doctrine. That's adding to the word of the Lord. That's fit for destruction. Again, if one makes a dietary choice because of their health reasons or just because they feel more comfortable with not consuming meat, that's cool. Don't make it a doctrine, and don't say that somebody is wrong if they're following a holy dietary law. Don't say that. If I'm following the dietary laws that the Most High gave me, don't tell me I'm out of line because I did what the Lord said was okay. And don't hold your head up as some elitist with your nose in the air because you done lost 10 pounds in the last month because you stopped eating meat and you feel like, yeah, see, you need to be like me, you need to do like me. That's when it becomes problematic. So this is where it all comes back to. It gets revealed later, and you see how those become issues of doctrinal warfare, let alone dietary labeling, causing all kind of division. Now they coming out with their own little AI Bible. First on CNN, Secret Service concludes the cocaine investigation. No suspect is identified. Oh, anybody surprised? Anybody surprised? Didn't I say that last week, man? If the wrong fingerprints and the wrong DNA pop up on there, man, they're going to sweep this one under the rug and try to hopefully everybody forget about it. So, let's see. Where's your boy at? This was a little bit after they found coke at the White House. I think this is a day or two later. There go Hunter Biden. Look at him. He look geeked out. Look at him. And the first time you see, watch him walk away and wipe his nose. Hey, yeah, I gotta go. I got something I gotta take care of. Little cokeheads, man, be all geeked up, man. There he goes. There he goes. He looking a little suspect, ain't he? Not to say that it was him, but like I said, he's graduated to rocks. So I'm not saying it was him snorting, even though he could have fell back, maybe. But clearly they done swept that one off the rug, man. No, nothing to see here. I mean, you trying to tell me with all of the cameras that's going on in the West Wing, in what should be the most secured house in the country, let alone maybe the world. There's no video. Your forensics that you do, DNA, and I mean, you can find and track down somebody through DNA that committed a crime in 1973. You can go find my cousin JoJo because he left his fingerprint on a Coke bottle in an alley where a murder happened. He done already migrated. He's down in damn Arkansas. And it happened 5 years ago. This is fictitious, y'all. I don't have a cousin JoJo. But you follow what I'm saying. The technology that he got today as a cunning hunter, which Esau is, according to the scriptures, is unmatched. They get the Coke bag. They said we're collecting DNA and fingerprints. We're going to get to the bottom of this. They go in there and they seen something they didn't like. And they said, we can't find who did it. We don't have any information. We're going to go ahead on and dismiss this. Really? How about this then?
Now, Congressman, after a days-long, speaking of corruption and speaking of covering up for the Bidens, after a days-long investigation, the Secret Service now says they've identified no suspects in the White House cocaine probe, if there was even one. But that's not all, Congressman. We also learned the Secret Service discovered marijuana at least two times last year, but they never bothered to mention it to anybody in the United States.
Whoa. Now, when I said, is it the White House or the trap house, I wasn't playing. Coke and weed found at the White House, man, both of them swept under the rug, man. And then you see Hunter Biden walking around bugged out. Slow Biden came, he seemed like he high every time he walking around, slumbering and stumbling all over the damn place, slurring when he talk. I mean, what's going on? They found weed at the White House more than once. Swept it under the rug. They ain't even speak on it.
Two times last year, but they never bothered to mention it to anybody in the United States. What's going on? Is the Secret Service now among the ranks of the FBI, the DOJ, and the IRS as just another government organization dedicated to covering up for the Bidens, sir?
Well, if you're a hardworking American and you see this, you begin to think that very thing, that you can't trust that the system doesn't work anymore. It's all generated around Joe Biden. The fact that found marijuana, cocaine in the White House should worry all of us. Just from a standpoint, it's a challenge to the president and his well-being.
His well-being. I mean, this guy, he can't even get the damn sentence out and really go hard on Slow Biden and his family. As my brother Ashar says, Snow Biden. Snow Biden. Somebody in there playing with their nose and they getting high. And they can't even put it out there without stuttering every damn minute. I mean, Slow Biden got some serious elite backers, man, that got their hands so far up his two cheeks with no Vaseline. I mean, Slow Biden is ready and willing. He telling me, hey, no, I don't need no lube. Don't give me you don't need no Vaseline, man. Stick your, I know this ain't Friday Night Lights, but y'all know the arms going up them cheeks, man. He gonna be the puppet that they need. And this guy, he's sitting up. Yeah, this is disturbing because they found cocaine and marijuana, and we need to be concerned about the welfare of the president. It seems like the system is broke. Man, just tell us something we don't know. Seems like we don't know. They just can't come out and call it what it is, man. Slow Biden got the trap house jumping. Wild. It's an echo. All right. I'm not sure why, but I'm done playing it anyway. Hopefully y'all was able to hear. Maybe I'll turn it down a little bit. Let me see if y'all didn't hear it, but
the fact that they had this 1 week investigation and came out with nothing, I think it concerns me a lot. But you know, I mean, but you got Hunter Biden. We know he's on drugs. We know he's on cocaine. It probably was his, but I guess we can't prove it. And like you say, they've just swept it under the rug and we move on. But it's important.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Thing.
Just showing you, man, the level and the land of corruption that's going on here, man. This is how you know, man, America is finished. Finished. When all this is going on, you know, prior to that, I showed y'all the article, man. Trump was in there with roaches and rats and mice in the damn White House, man, they both living like niggas. And I'm talking about the ignorant, dumbed down, knuckle dragging Negro and Hispanic out there, man, who are lost and destroyed for lack of knowledge. When I'm calling, or a niggard, as the scriptures call them, the lazy, dumbed down cab man that don't take care of his business, the ignorant. That's the niggas, man. So Slow Biden and Chump both living like they in the damn hood. Rats, roaches, mice, coke, and weed. Unbelievable. Now, you know what's bad in California, man, when 50 Cent come out talking about LA is finished and he's concerned about crime. When 50 Cent, man, gangster rapper 50 Cent, entrepreneur, media mogul and all that, man, he's saying, man, hey, LA is finished, man. It's worse for me. It's bad for me. I'm not even with it. He said, LA is finished, wrote the 48-year-old rapper whose real name is Curtis Jackson on Wednesday. Watch how bad it gets out there. Shaking my head. Down here, it says Los Angeles city officials had implemented the no bail policy during the COVID-19 pandemic shutdown to ease pressure on crowded city jails and decreed that inmates already behind bars for crimes such as shoplifting, vandalism, and drug possession be released. So, long story short, what this is saying is the law that they had in there, the catch and release, basically, if you got caught shoplifting, petty crimes, vandalism, drug possession, because the jails was crowded and they was trying to prevent the spread of the vid, they was letting people out for these offenses. That's why people were smashing and grabbing, running in the stores, doing all kind of madness, because they was basically like, hey, if I get caught, they ain't gonna hold me. They're gonna give me a damn notice to appear and let me out within a matter of hours. I think there was one story, man. It was either the Edomite or Northern Kingdom cat, man. The dude who got arrested like 3-4 times in a day. They just kept letting him out. Now they're saying that they're reinstating it. Although the pandemic is over with, they're saying that these particular crimes, shoplifting, vandalizing, drug possessions, you get caught, they will not hold you in jail. You getting right out. That's why 50 Cent is like, it's about to be turned up in LA. You think I had a video, man. It was a sister. She had a shopping cart full of meat. And a lot of it looked like swine too with her wicked butt. But she's outside. They got the getaway car at the front of the damn grocery store. Trunk popped open. Passenger sitting in the passenger seat. She chilling. The sister filled up a shopping cart full of meat. She must have had about I'm sure $1,000 worth of meat or more. And she jumps out, throwing it in the trunk. The manager of the store come out, it's a female, Edomite female. She trying to stop it. She pushing her off like, man, get up out of here. She throwing it in. So the manager just said, forget it. I'm just going to film. She throwing it in there. The chick closed the damn trunk and jumped in the car and peeled out. Those type of crimes, they ain't going to do nothing. They're going to let that slide. So imagine when all hell breaks loose in these cities, man. That's pretty much what they kind of preparing LA for. Is let an earthquake hit, a famine hit, a blackout hit for a number of days, man. All your food goes bad and your refrigerator is out of commission. They're gonna go raid these damn grocery stores. And the thing is the grocery stores, what you see is what you get. There's no backup, supplies in the back with boxes full of food and a back freezer and all that. No. Whatever's in them grocery stores, what you see, that's all they got. And they got days during the week when they come in with new shipments and the pallets come out and they bring in more stuff to restock. Other than that, that's it. Now imagine you're the only Food for Less or Ralph's in your neighborhood for miles. Everybody in that neighborhood is gonna ramshackle that place, man, and until there ain't nothing left up in there. And more than likely, them shipping trucks ain't coming in with new supplies of food when all hell is breaking loose. I mean, it's gonna be bad. That's why the scriptures say, man, in 2 Ezra 15 about people's homes getting violated for lack of bread, and a neighbor turning on his neighbor just to survive. And now here's LA saying, here, we're gonna go ahead and test drive that. Let's tell everybody, man, you can vandalize, you can break into cars, homes, you can break in, steal whatever you want out of stores, and we won't hold you. Drug possession, oh, you got meth, you got weed, you got crack, you got, heroin, you got pills, depending on the amount, we're not sweating you. You talk about Escape from LA, that old movie that was the part 2 of Escape from New York with Snake Plissken. They trying to turn LA into that, man. I know in the choir we was talking about that last weekend. He was like, if you wouldn't move back to LA for $1 million. I was like, man, $1 million, you'll be living in Watts somewhere. That's the cost of living, what it's like out here now. Let alone all this damn hell they about to unleash. Negro don't read, so they got to watch it on the video or something before they gonna wait for the word to spread. Or when the homie comes home from the county jail or wherever, and they say, man, how you get out, man? Hey, they got the new law, man. I got locked up. They had hold me. I had that weed on. They said that ain't punishable no more. They just told me, man, I got to get a ticket. And I got to come back to court, and they ain't prosecuting for this. And next thing you know, it spreads to the hood. Oh man, yeah, the homie, they just got through breaking into the house, man. They already out. What happened? They ain't holding us no more. Well, let's get up and let's go to Bel Air. Let's go to Bel. You already know how these damn Negroes are stinking. That's what they setting up LA for, man. Protect your home, protect your family, y'all. Look at this. Who is Ricky Valerie Cole? The first transgender woman to be crowned Miss Netherlands. The model changed her name at 11 and was teased for years, but says transitioning made me feel at home. So Miss Netherlands is a transformer who just won. Now Miss Netherlands, now he qualifies for Miss Universe. And if you didn't know, Miss Universe is owned by a transformer. So this is how we're seeing the whole transition of reality and everything is changing now. I've said this years ago on when Tyra Banks had her model show. Half of the judges were sodomite men, telling a woman what it is to be a woman, how she should be walking, how she should be posing, how she should be carrying herself. Now it's transitioning into actual men that's transitioning to being women. Now they own the rights to say who is Miss Universe. Miss Universe, right? Now the first crowning Miss Netherlands is a transformer. Look at it, look at his hands. You get all the surgery and all this you want to. But look at them big old paws, man. And look at look at his old bird chest. You can change all of this and grow your hair out. The real devil's in the details, man. Look at them big old hands on this dude. But here you go. There's it. There she is, Miss Netherlands. And the Transformers own the Miss Universe contest. So you tell me if that's not out of pocket, and I can't even describe it no more. But it's unreal. Look at it. Maybe he's born with it. Fury at Maybelline for using bearded men to promote a new makeup line. Remember, I showed y'all the pictures of the wedding magazine We had the hairy, Arab cat on there dressed as a woman, makeup down. That's the new image of weddings, marriages. Here's your new models for your makeup, ladies. They've taken over. There's no such thing as a woman anymore. Haven't you heard? Ask Ketanji Brown, Supreme Court Justice. She says she don't know what a woman is no more. Do you understand how crazy that is, man? To say that y'all don't exist no more. There is no woman no more. Men that's out there, man. Here's your new definition of a woman now, man. You say you attracted to women. Are you sure? Because they saying this is it. Good Lord. Let me move on, man, before I call Earl. All right. Look, health professionals are now being told to call vaginas a bonus hole to avoid offending trans patients. Shout out to my brother Barack because I missed this one. He sent this to me. Health professionals are now being told to call vaginas bonus holes to avoid offending trans patients. Do I need to elaborate on this? Do I need to? Ladies, you have a bonus hole now. There's no more biological terminology that can define you to say that you are different from a man. You've got a bonus hole that the transformer doesn't have. And medical health professionals are being told to deny biological science and change it to say a vagina no longer exists. We're only calling them bonus holes now. And unless you want to be fined or lose your license or has it, this is the system of the beast. This is the way things transition into folly and wickedness and evil. Okay. I'm going to continue on. I'm not going to read much of this article. You can check the headlines, read it for yourself. Japan is hammered by the heaviest rain ever, with thousands told their lives are in danger amid deadly landslides and devastating floods. I mean, this is where we're seeing, the headlines have been going on for the last like 2 weeks, maybe a little bit longer. It's the hottest date on Earth. Heat keeps going up because of the climate change uh, fear that they're throwing on everybody. We know that the Most High is in control of everything, right? So in one instance, they want to eliminate the Most High. In a second instance, it's what is it? I didn't put this one in, but I did share this a couple years ago. Wow, imagine it's 2 years already. Seemed like it was yesterday because this is an article from 2021. It's an undercover video with a CNN, ex-CNN executive said that after, see, this technical director told Project Veritas climate change will be the next C word thing. Okay. So the media was already being told once we're done with this pandemic, the next thing that we're going to program everybody on is climate change. That's going to be the new method that we can use for climate lockdowns, for your travel passes, to regulate your carbon emissions, to check out, uh, your your regulate what you're buying and you're selling, your food consumption, regulating the farms with the cows and everything else. That's going to be the next method of how to subdue the world. CNN plans climate change town hall after the staffer reveals plan to sell climate fear in a leaked recording. This is from April 22nd, 2021. So now we've been seeing all of these latest headlines now is talking about how hot it's getting. It's hot, 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 hot. Right? But meanwhile, go look at Vermont. There was flooding in Vermont, flooding in Chicago, flooding in India, Japan, Spain. Where else was it? I think they had a tornado or typhoons heading up into New Jersey. Where's the heat? I mean, I know it's hot out. I know we're definitely getting heat. I mean, they had how old was the dude? The dude was in his 60s. Dummy went out into the Death Valley and died. And then they said that was headlines. What's the name of the place again? Oh, Death Valley. Okay, that makes sense then. Why were you out there? Unless you were looking to die. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. Sounding like slow Biden. Now we know that the Most High did say that the earth uh has been corrupted, the earth is defiled, all of the foundations are out of course. But it's always the Most High. White man comes in there, he says it's um climate change, man-made climate change. Let's read this Wisdom of Solomon 13. Surely vain are all men by nature, who are ignorant of the Most High, and could not out of the good things that are that is, neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the workmaster, but deemed either fire or wind or the swift air or climate change or the Green New Deal. I mean, I'm adding those in. But deemed either fire or wind or the swift air or the circle of the stars or the violent water or the lights of heaven to be the gods which govern the world, with whose beauty, if they being delighted, took them to be gods. Let them know how much better the Lord of them is, for the first author of the beauty hath created them. So all the power, all of the things that we see that's happening at the Most High, and tell you that the nations would turn those things into gods, man. The God of wind, the God of fire, the God of the sun, God of this. The Lord said, man, you forgetting about who made all of them. You dig what I'm saying? And now the white man says, oh, it's climate change. We got to watch our carbon emissions. But if we do this and you follow my plan, I can save the world. But meanwhile, he's got geoengineering and heart programs and all kind of weather manipulation programs. I've showed those things before. For time's sake, I'm not going to go there. But we've seen him utilize all those tools. So again, with him trying to be a creator, controlling the weather, we don't know if this is him doing evil through the Most High, because we still acknowledge it's the Most High, or is the Most High truly just judging the earth? One thing for sure, two things for certain: the Most High is at the bottom of it all. The damn devil is trying to take control of everything. Psalms 11:3 says, "If the foundations be destroyed, what can the righteous do?" Well, we read earlier what it's saying in 2 Ezra 16, 75 to 77. So, man, we got to, analyze our sins, never return back to Him, repent, follow after the Most High, the just living by faith. Because this is just the tip of the iceberg. Talking about destruction. How's these type of things going to affect food consumption, food supplies, and all that, from floodings? If you see some of the videos, man, it's cars getting washed down the streets, homes being destroyed, land getting destroyed in many of these places. Right? See, look at this. Northeast braces for more flooding that could rival deadly 2011 Hurricane Irene. 42 million across the region under flash flood watch after historic rains killed at least one. That's why I be scratching my head, saying, well, where the hell? Why are they talking about the whole earth is hot? And meanwhile, we're seeing. You see that? Remember I told you, I told you they was about to say that I was getting for some stuff coming next week. 120 out there in Phoenix. Good Lord, man. Stay where it's cool if that's possible. The hottest I've experienced was like 117 or something like that. That was in the valley, and that was in like 2005 or 6, something like that. And that was brutal. That was brutal. I mean, you can't go out. I remember, matter of fact, we were doing a fundraising event, and I had to leave and go home because the event was near my house. Something was forgotten. I had to go home. My car was in the outside. I could not touch the damn steering wheel. It was too hot. You roll down the window, you turn on the air. It takes 5 minutes for the damn air conditioning to even actually kick in and work. You can't roll down the window because you're getting hit with nothing but hot air smacking you in the face. I'm trying to cool down the damn. I'm turning. I mean, it's unreal. Unreal. That type of heat, man. That was 116, 117. So I can only imagine 120, man. Unbelievable. But the white man said the whole earth is experiences its hottest dates ever. But I mean, all of these places is dealing with hurricanes and floods. I mean, it's raining and hailing from Florida to Colorado to Texas, getting hit with hail, and now they heating up. I mean, it's all over the place right now. Most I said the foundation's out of course, man. What's the righteous gonna do? Don't know what to do. Do what you know, man. Keep with these laws and these commandments. So, 42 million across the region are under a flash flood watch after historic um, rains killed at least one. Look at this. Native American groups joined the call for reparations and target colleges who took land from tribes only just because of everything that was taken. Native American groups are demanding reparations centuries after numerous tribes had land taken by land grab universities and colleges. So now we're seeing the Native Americans, they're rising up trying to get reparations, following after the Southern Kingdom, trying to get some reparations cracking. They too are lost in the sauce. There's not going to be no reparations for you either. I thought that was made clear when we shared the article last week with Ben and Jerry's talking about we need to go ahead and start giving back the lands. Let's start with the Lakota tribe, and they lost $2 billion in a day, and dealing with outrage and dealing with all kind of hate for them saying, "Let's do the right thing, guys. Let's go ahead on and admit we took this land." So they can forget about it. That's not going down. All right. Oh, isn't this nice? Look at this. Bank of America to automatically reimburse customers $100 million after the firm illegally charged junk fees, withheld promised rewards, and opened fake credit card accounts without a holder's consent. More bank corruption happening. If anybody got Bank of America, go and investigate and see if you're entitled to any of this money. Uh, Bank of America has been involved in mass corruption. Wells Fargo, HSBC, a number of these different banks, man, been involved in all kind of corruption, man. And the damn bastards are still out here operating, holding court in the business sectors. Nobody getting arrested. Nobody's shutting down these damn illegal exchanges going on. All they do is fine them and tell them watch your books a little bit better, man. Remember in 2008, they said the banks are too big to fail. The only thing they're going to do is shut down the small banks, man, so they can get swallowed up by J.P. Morgan, Chase, some of these bigger banks, so they can consolidate where all of the money flows through, so they can have this one world payment system. So look at this. The watchdog has ordered the bank to pay more than $100 million to customers. Bank of America is accused of double dipping on $35 insufficient fund fees. Have you received your refund? Please email helena.c.kelly@mailonline. That's if you received it. If you're looking for you got to inquire with Bank of America. I don't know who banks with them, but they out here doing dirt, man. Been robbing people for a long time. Risk of cancer and pregnancy complications are up to 70% higher in neighborhoods where tap water is most contaminated with PFAS, forever chemicals, with counties in North Carolina and Iowa among the worst affected. So when we were talking about the poisoning of the food and the water supplies, people talking we was crazy. You guys are nuts. No way they would let anybody get away with that. Blah, 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 blah. Are you talking about, oh, yeah, they're putting infertility drugs in the water, man. They're jacking us up, man. They're trying to control the population. You sound like one of them conspiracy weirdos, man. Get up out of here with that. You know, long gone are the days, man. Back in the days when you can go play outside and, you know, drinking from the water hose and all that. Those days is over with, man. And that probably was dangerous back then too. People living in these particular areas, man, they're accustomed to drinking out the water fountains. They're raised like that. Now they're buying bottled waters, and this is also a way of how they monopolize the water systems. If you look at Nestle and their water companies, man, they monopolized that from Native Americans and stole that. It's a lot of business that goes on with these bottled water companies too, stealing land, monopolizing the stream, taking over stuff so they can have the rights to the water. That's why in Lamentations says, man, we are drunk in our let's say Lamentations, I think it's in 5. Uh where is that at? Yeah, here we go. 5 and verse 4. It said, we have drunken our water for money, our wood is sold unto us. I mean, this is our bondage under Babylon. Drinking our water for money. When the whole world, when the whole world is 3/4 water, I believe, and the so-called white man has managed to bottle that natural resource up and sell it to us. Now, when he's poisoning and corrupting the pipes and corrupting up the water supplies and saying, don't drink that, buy from me. Yeah, I've purified it. Trust me. We're under this particular curse. I mean, this is ridiculous. You getting hit too, Jackson? I've never seen such. It is hotter than ever. Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm talking about worldwide. They're saying all over the world, the whole earth is hot. They're saying the whole earth is bubbling. And I'm saying, how so? When there's floods and rain all over in various countries and destroying the. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's not hot. I'm not saying it's hot in many of places. Trust me. It's like brother said, it's 120 in Phoenix today. It's definitely hot out there. The white man's just saying the whole world is overheating. And the reason why he's saying that is because he wants to push the narrative of it's global warming. We got to reduce carbon. If you look at carbon, you and I are carbon based. Matter of fact, I believe the human body is 12% carbon, which is interesting as it surrounds the number 12 leading to us. I believe. I don't want to give you wrong from. Let me just double check and see. You might get different. Let's see, what is this? It's a new scientist. He says what? Well, here it says 14. Human body contains about 20 different elements, mostly made inside ancient stars. If you're deconstruct 80, so carbon 14. See, this one says 14. Long story short, uh, yeah, that's where they get the essence of what they call carbon 12. Solved about 12% of the human body mass is carbon. So anywhere, I guess you could say, see, look at it. About 12% of human body mass is carbon. That's where I got the numbers from. Uh, but again, just the irony of how many things surround 12. You got 12 cranial nerves in your brain, 12 hours in a day. All the stuff that's around our people, man. That's just in the spirit of things, of creation. That's a whole nother topic to get deep in on. But anyway, when they talking about we got to reduce the carbon, essentially they can include you and me as part of the reason they need to, control the population, because the carbon human is destroying the earth. That's why they're trying to, monopolize that. Yeah. So you see here, forever chemicals is in the water. He says, man, hey, give me the money. Buy water for me. I'll make sure that it's purified because I already contaminated all your water. See how they play? Quad City, Iowa, Louisville, Kentucky, Decatur, Alabama, New Orleans, Miami, Charleston, South Carolina, Brunswick, uh, North Carolina, Wilmington, North Carolina, Bergen County, New Jersey, Philadelphia are the top cities with the highest contaminated water, and some are counties. See, Bergen County, New Jersey, that's an entire county. That's not just a city. Brunswick County, North Carolina, that's an entire county, not just a city. So, if you or anyone you know are in these areas, they must be told, don't drink from the damn water fountains. Don't be in the shower gargling and opening your mouth, brushing your teeth in the shower. Hey, you're doing more damage than good. The man is out here trying to destroy and kill every damn thing in his path. Okay. Look at it. Credit scores went up in the pandemic. Now more borrowers are slipping. So during the pandemic, people wasn't out buying like that. They're building up their credit. Now they all got new credit cards, and now that the so-called white men are saying, "I need all of that back," through inflation, high prices, high cost of living, so forth and so on. A lot of people now are charging up them credit cards and are not paying back the loans. Cars are getting repossessed in the whole nine. Now the chickens are coming home to roost, and the white man again has got many of our people cornered into defaults on loans. Are going to ruin people's lives again. But don't worry, he's going to have a universal basic income to get everybody back on their feet again. He's going to have a new payment system, a new carbon credit card, all that other stuff. He's going to have it all lined up to help you start all over under his control. Stimulus checks and loan deferrals drove up scores, making it harder to tell who's creditworthy. Americans whose credit scores jumped early in the pandemic are falling behind on loan payments at higher than expected rates. So, remember, he gives a little bit, gives a little pat on the back, says, here's some more credit, here's some more money, spend up. We run out there, we should get to spending, and now when the businesses that, Jake's went to try to start up with the stimulus money and the money that you invested in on your crypto and all that stuff is starting to slip and go away. Now you can't pay them bills like you used to. It's a problem. It's a problem. Americans are using buy now, pay later apps to contend with high grocery prices. I didn't even know this existed. But there's an app now where you can finance your groceries, man. What do you mean? What about Michigan, Ashar? I'm not sure. That's right, Hezekiah. Yeah, Ashar, clarify what you mean about Michigan. Americans using buy now, pay later apps. People are financing groceries now, man. That's sad and that's bad. Gracie Williams spends a lot of time thinking about her bills as the primary earner in her household that includes her ailing mother and younger brother. The South Carolina librarian is constantly weighing how to divvy up her $2,100 a month take-home pay and late father's retirement benefits. Williams, 31, has found a way to feed her family in installments. She's using Klarna, a buy now, pay later tool best known for helping people finance Pelotons, laptops, and other big ticket merchandise. Klarna and other buy now, pay later services are increasingly being tapped for groceries. Usage surged 40% in the first 2 months in 2023, according to data from Adobe Analytics. So, oh yeah, contaminated water for sure. We know Flint, Michigan, they still reeling over there, man. That thing is still jacked up, for sure. They didn't have them as the top with these particular chemicals, though. But I think Flint had a lot of lead and all kind of other contaminants in it. The other ones that they were dealing with, these was like some other cancer causing uh chemicals that was in there. But this article, man, it breaks down the death rates, it breaks down the percentages of people that's gotten cancer, you know, all of that stuff. But unfortunately, we're seeing here all of the economic collapsing that's happening. Um, you know, people now having to finance their groceries. It's Slow Biden and the rest of them are running around talking about how great the stock market is doing, and you know, inflation is coming down, and everything's going according to plan. But the cost of living is not coming down. Grocery prices aren't coming down. Gas is not coming down, and they keep talking about inflation is dropping. I can't tell. I can't tell. Black residents will start to receive reparations in Illinois. Now, check this out. Evanston, Illinois has become the first city in U.S. to deliver on its promise of paying reparations to black residents. We getting the money back. Oh, praise. All right. Yeah, here we go. No, no. Watch this. The city committed to in 2019 to spend $10 million over 10 years on local reparations. So they were given $1 million a year budget to spread out over 10 years. That's what they committed to in 2019. 3 years later, well, they saying 2 years. I guess they're not counting 2020. 2 years later, it approved a program to give eligible black residents, notice, eligible black residents, $25,000 housing grants for down payments, repairs, or existing mortgages in an effort to atone for the city's past racist housing policies. So here they are. This is their form of reparations. They're going to give only eligible black residents, and some, I believe, they said they were elderly black residents, $25,000, right? So how is that reparations? When they control the money that they give you, when they tell you what you can and can't do with it, it'd be different if they gave you $25,000 and said, "Here, go and you can use this to invest in some land, to go, you know, get yourself established. Go set us." No, they said if we give you this, it's only good for repairs on your house, which what gets back into the curses. Verse 48, Deuteronomy 28:48. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. He shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. So he will control. If you got a need and want of all things, he is the one that is going to be the one that is able to tell you what you can and can't do with the money. Look at verse 44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. So, in essence, he's giving you money to pour right back into his system. Invest in his, invest this $25,000 into buying a new home as a down payment. Meanwhile, the housing market is at its worst right now, along with commercial real estate. Giving people money to go buy into a damn market that's already guaranteed you're going to lose money. The property values is going down. Housing costs is up. Interest rates for housing investors are up. There's a small market of people that can go out there and actually buy a home right now because uh people aren't trying to sell their homes. Imagine if you bought your home and you financed it at whatever 3% interest. You're telling me you're going to sell your house now and then go jump out there where the interest rates is at 7 to 10%. You're like, the hell with that. I'm sticking with my three. I'm not jumping into that to end up paying more on a house that's devaluating every damn day. So this is how slick they get. Oh, we're going to give you reparations. However, it's only for eligible people, and all you black folk, you niggas don't keep coming up. We only got $1 million a year to spread amongst you. It's not for everybody. So yes, we're going to cause envy and enmity and hate and variance amongst you because your neighbor got it, but you didn't get it, and you know how jealous and envious Israel can be. Why she get it? Why they get it? I've been here longer than them. I did it. Then that causes envy and problems amongst us, right? That's why the Most High said in Isaiah 50, 52. We're going to be redeemed without money. We keep relying on and waiting for the damn white man to give us another pat on the back or pat on the head and give you a little chump change that he controls how you spend it. That's part of the. I mean, still cursed. He's gonna lend to you. You're not gonna lend to him. So what is this? A form of lending? A $25,000 grant that you can put on a down payment for a house. He's not telling you go out there and take this money, go start a business. Hey, all you guys come together, pull all your money together, and go buy some land down south and go establish your own community. You can't do none of that. Take the money. It's either got to be used for down payments, repairs, or continue paying off your existing mortgage. Can't do what you want. So the reparations ain't what you think. So imagine the Negroes out here running around talking about we need $2 billion a piece. If you don't knock it off, that lets you know where his mind is at. We're going to give them the money, but it's going to come right back to us. Don't worry. That's how the white man plays. So for the Negroes out there protesting and whining and crying, talking about we need reparations, we want our money, you ain't getting no dang money. And if he does give you a little pat on the back or pat on the head and say, here, take this little chump change, it's going right back in the system. It's going to be regulated and it's going to be said what you can and can't do with the money. And that also shows you how he's going to control populations with this new economic system that is going to coming down the pipeline. The digital system, the CBDC, the cashless society, all that other stuff is going to be regulated, control what you can and can't do with it, how you can spend it, how you can't spend it. It ain't going to be a free for all where, oh, we got this new car, we're going to do. No. He controls, he regulates, he can tell you what you can buy and sell, what you can and can't do with it, and you have to submit to the will of the beast. So, all the glitters ain't gold, y'all. So, the Negroes shouldn't be out there celebrating in Evansville, talking about, yeah, we getting our money. Yeah, you're going to give it right back to your damn oppressor, man. He said, invest it right back into the system that oppressed you before. Put it right back into the same system that you were telling us we did unfair housing policies to you. So, pay us back by investing it right back into the housing policies that oppressed you from the beginning. Does that make sense? I'm done, man. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, man. Hopefully, y'all found today's DSTM edifying. And your brothers and sisters are well out there and enjoying your Shabbat. We'll be closing out our Sabbath class, 4:00, Messenger of the Covenant, man. Tune in with us. If you got some more time on your hands, if the Sabbath ain't over for you by then, or if you want to catch it after the fact because you got something else going on, you got another camp you like watching at that time, whatever. We don't can't bang over here, you know. But if you found it in your heart to come check us out and close out the Shabbat with us with another class, we'll be doing it 4:00 Pacific time, man. Lord willing, we'll see you there. Stay cool out there, y'all. Especially y'all over there in the hot deserts, man. Arizona. I mean, it's gonna be like I think it's almost 100 out here today. Where we'll be at, but nonetheless, y'all be well, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here and get ready for the rest of my Shabbat, man. So y'all be well. Always remember, man, fear the Most High, keep the commandments. Don't shoot your messenger. With that, I'm gonna say shalom.